came to the outskirts of Southside, I saw Tang Bing standing among the disciples on the ground, dazed and silent. Tang Li arrived and defeated the others, leaving Tang Bing there. I felt the familiar breath that I didn't want to recall from his subordinates I killed. They had undoubtedly undergone Shachi Mod. But the instigator of Shachi Mod was killed by the hands of the Order 5 years ago. What's hiding behind this? Like a mechanic on top. Did lacking with this. Tucked you into my carriage. Looks like this magnum opus is still in progress.
Hey, I'll teach you the basics of kung fu.
Basics? I guess this Utilitina is built for the Order as a cadet training.
1,000-mile journey begins.
I don't think basics.
1,000-mile journey begins with the first step.
When Tang Li and I were dating, he was more diligent than anyone else. He believed that he would stand out someday if he kept up his efforts. After proposing to me, he practiced martial arts and performed tasks frantically to prove himself to my father. He was not happy. I hoped he could be happier and spend more time with me. I didn't want him to struggle so much. It didn't matter to me if he stood out or not. But when I said that for the first time, his reaction frightened me.
Do you think I'm not good enough for you?
we fought sometimes after that. I just didn't want him to push himself too hard. But he always thought I was mocking him for his roots. The rift grew between us. He even hit me and knocked me out during a fight. My father was furious and gave the order to kill him. I begged my father to spare his life. So Tang Li was thrown off the back of the mountain, his body badly bruised. Although he left, I sometimes felt he was staring at me from somewhere. I don't love him anymore. I'm terrified of him. Every night I wake up with a start. It was probably just in my head most of the time. But I was convinced he sneaked into my room a couple of times. What does he want? What did I actually do?
So, you and Tang Li were once together, but after you separated...
At first, he just stalked.
Why did he do that?
It was the night of Mid-Autumn Festival. My 3 fellow brothers prepared the next day.
How did you know it was Tang Li?
One day, he just showed up and said no man was allowed to be close to me.
Although sinful, Tang Li turns out to be such an inferior and poor man. Everything he has done for love is only convincing to himself. There is no doubt that his sick love has been manipulated by someone to get him to take Shachi Mud. The Order eliminated the creator of this art 5 years ago, but they can't eliminate its twisted affection. It's the worst side of humanity that enabled Shachi Mud to exist. So much power attached.
down on me? And so have your father and the whole world. I'm done with you pretending to love me. You have so many fellow disciples that are from illustrious families.